All right, welcome back to Business. Today we are still talking matters, tech and the evolution. What is the present? What is the future? Well, it seems to be almost a general consensus that artificial intelligence is the way to go. Is that so? Well, in studio we have Dr. Ellen Kamau, Director, Vista Prom Solutions Limited. Dr. Ellen, thank you very much for making time. You've seen the foundation that our resident boss, Kelly Boss, has laid there. And AI seems to be one of those topics that everyone is talking about. Even we are having experts now. Now I'm an expert in AI. Do you feel there is a disconnect between the narrative that we're having and the practicality on the ground?
Everybody is grappling with this emerging technology, which is artificial intelligence. And I like the tangent it's taking. So as long as people are interested, it is moving the agenda of AI forward. And as a tech, it's good that whether you know it or not, you've embraced it. So it's a good start for us. Maybe the only thing we need to do is get more experts to demystify what is AI. Yes.
That's a good question. In fact, it should be almost rhetorical.
Yes.
From your perspective and where you sit, what is AI?
In simple terms, AI is the science of creating a computer system to think like a human in terms of decision making, in terms of collecting data, and even giving logic, that is reasoning. So it simulates a human brain where it looks at different types of data sets and makes a decision, looks at your spending patterns, and even gives you a recommendation. Now that I've seen that you love black shoes, it will recommend any accessories that goes with the black shoes. Okay. Have you ever Googled something and the next time you're finding ads all over of the same thing?
I know.
Or AI, put in very simple terms when it comes to optimization or Google searches. Your brother says, I'm looking for a nice phone. And you're just talking on phone. But because he's in your contacts and has saved you as a brother, what is the next pop-up? iPhone.
Yeah.
Samsung 23. That's the power of AI. It is the power of collaborating your information and those that are close to you.
Okay.
It's like a brain behind the brains that are there.
And that's massive because essentially it's feeding on data and working out that data in different sets and formation. I've seen this term going around, generative AI.
Yes.
What is that?
Generative AI is simply, I'm trying not to use the technical terms.
Simplify it for us so that next time we're chatting with my friends, I'll pop up, generative AI.
It is the science of just looking at different information sets and coming up with a logical answer to it. So it generates whatever it finds. But all that said and done, it's good to understand that AI in general has been created by somebody. It just doesn't pop up.
Okay.
Programmers, software engineers come together, create a software and tell it, this is how you should think. Anytime you see the name Ben, match it with Peter. Anytime you see ball, match it with pen, so that you can see there's a ball pen or a ballpoint. Anytime you see yellow, match it with this. So it is something that is done by people, and it's given the logic, and it's made to understand that if you see B, make sure there's A and C and even D coming next. So somebody has gone behind that. It's not something that auto-generates itself.
Okay.
There is a group of software engineers doing that.
Because that has been the fear, that we are training this and now we're infusing this into robotics. You're saying robots now walking around, working in factories. In fact, there was a clip that was making rounds of a robot which had worked for a long time and then it just collapsed. I think it was in China. But that aside, there is this fear. It comes covered with fear. We don't really understand. Is it evolving? Will it start thinking by itself? What you're saying is that it's still under control. It's at the masses of the creators?
Yes, it's at the masses of the creator. We are not cloning, because that's what people think programmers do. We are not cloning people to think. We're just creating a system with a brain that can think logically. And whatever you feed it, it will make those assumptions. So note that whatever the people who are behind the AI are the ones who control what it thinks. And that brings also an ethical issue, bias.
Okay.
Because assuming I'm bringing something that is based on my experience as an African, I may not give my AI the whole view of what happens in China or what happens in other countries. So for the people doing the AI systems, they have to be very careful so that they make everything inclusive. It's not just compartmentalized to a local setting.
Definitely.
Yes.
In a couple of months, I traveled to Spain for Mobile World Congress. I happened to chat with one of the robots, and I asked it, what do you know about Africa? What do you know about Kenya? And it came short on a number of issues, and it was like, that's where my knowledge reaches. And I realized it's actually a factor of what you're feeding into it.
Exactly.
In many sense. So with that now, as a country, as a continent, how do we position ourselves, especially with this emerging technology? How do we make sure that we are at a strong position when it comes to AI?
As a software engineer and as a pioneer in this industry, I'm glad to say that many companies have taken up AI in Kenya. And we've come up with products. And that's why you see Kenya ranking high when it comes to AI and inclusivity of AI into our products. We have very many people who have started coming up with applications that are AI enabled. We have an office that has been set up, not fully, the Office of Data Protection Commissioner. So I think what we need to do more is to set now regulations so that as AI is coming into place, there is a regulatory body that is checking the ethical issues in regard to data privacy, in regard to inclusivity, and even the right information.
Definitely.
Yes.
And that even presents now a more technical issue because your local regulations, how do they marry with the other jurisdiction regulations? Have we seen areas across the world that maybe they are leading, that we can take and pick a thing or two from this different jurisdiction and apply here in regulating AI?
Yes. Right now, for us as programmers, we normally stick to the EU regulatory body, which is GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulator in the EU, as ours are coming up. So we try to create things which comply with that, so that it's not just a local product, but it's also a product which is acceptable globally. And the GDPR is the strongest so far. When it comes to AI oversight, it's the strongest in the world.
Yeah, and talking about your products, you've created a product touching on maternal health.
Yes.
I mean, what is the idea? How did you settle, and what is the product?
I'm a mother,
Yes.
a wife and a mother. So most of the ideas, as we always tell even the young people, look for what is around you and create something that will bring a solution to what we have. I was a teenage mother and think that is what led to this hype of maternal AI system. It's a system that assists women or ladies who are preparing for their pregnancy journey. They could be people who don't have access to information. Right now, you know the doctors are on strike. And maybe a teenage mother wants to access but does not have money. So we have an app where they can just go and give their fears. I'm pregnant. What happens? We have a chat box that has a counseling session. It will take that and now populate it and tell it, you are in safe hands. This is what is supposed to be. This is the journey. And it will prompt, how many months? Do you have a support system? Can we give you people to assist you? Because in the AI, we also have what we call super moms. Mm-hmm. Women who have walked the journey, who are ready to give their lives back to other women. Okay. We've also partnered with obstetricians, gynecologists, doctors, nutritionists, so that we have an all-inclusive platform that gives advice. Mm-hmm. It also has a geotag where it will check where you are and refer you to the nearest hospital and tell you need to start your clinic. These are the options. If you want private, these are the options. If it's government, these are the options. Okay. That's the power of AI.
Wow.
Yes.
It's humanized some of these processes.
Yes.
And giving you, I think, the privacy to be vulnerable,
yes.
Which is very interesting. I know our time is up. We have less than a minute to go. Briefly touch on the issue of AI and jobs. It seems people are worried now these things are coming for our jobs. Dr. Ellen, are we losing our jobs to machines and AI or not?
Unless you don't want to upskill, you will lose your job. Because when the change comes, it still comes. So we have to embrace it. The same way diapers came and slowly did away with the napkins. Mm-hmm. It's time for everyone to upskill. Right. Journalists, education, just upskill and move with AI. It's created very many new avenues of job creation. Okay. And it's unfortunate that people have not picked up those opportunities. They're just wondering whether we should or we should not. But I can tell you, those people that will migrate as soon as possible have a great opportunity of a lot of jobs that are awaiting them.
Definitely.
Yes.
Upskill. Take advantage of what is happening.
Yes.
It is a once-in-a-lifetime situation, but thank you very much, Dr. Ellen Kamau, Director, Vista Prime Solutions Limited. Yeah. And she says that actually it's high time that you embrace this. Yeah. AI is going nowhere. So if you don't want to go nowhere, it's better you embrace it and move with it. Yeah. And it holds so much potential. Application, when it comes to maternal health, prompting questions, you can interact with it, find solutions. It's one just utilization. Imagine the other challenges we are facing as a country that AI can be utilized and applied to give solutions in that regard. Of course, we are waiting for the regulations to be streamlined. The issue of ethics is of big concern, but at least we've started the conversation, and I'm glad that Business Today is always here to set that pace. Thank you very much, Dr. Terry, for your time and conversing with Business Today.
Thank you.
All right, as we put a full stop to today's show, thank you very much for joining with us. I'm Nokip Kimboy. Up next, you have Bio Kitian. Stay tuned.